So my PhD is focusing on soil ecology. I'm looking at a peatland system and looking at the carbon cycling within that. Peatlands are really important globally because they hold about a third of the terrestrial carbon, which is currently locked up. But with climate change and the associated vegetation change, that could change and they could be releasing a lot of carbon within the next few years.
So my PhD is looking at how oxidation and other post-translational modifications of protein therapeutics can cause increased immune responses.
So a typical day for me depends really on what I'm doing. Generally speaking, in the lab, I'll be doing short bursts of quite a lot of work, and then I have an hour or so while samples run on quite some fancy machines, and then I'll sit on my computer, I'll be reading some papers, maybe catching up on some paperwork of planning the next experiment, analysing a bit of data.
I think that the data I produce is my own, so of course I get support from my supervisors and the other people in my lab, but when it comes down to it, I've planned the experiments, I actually do the experiments, I analyse them myself, so then any data that I do produce is something I've worked through myself.
So I found my PhD, I was looking really for different topics I thought would be of interest. My background's in plant biology and I wanted something that kind of tied that in. So looking at the soil works quite well, especially in relation to vegetation change. I think things that helped me get my PhD, I personally have a background in a related area. I have a master's in computer science and I'd also actually worked for a couple of years, which I think gave me a lot more versatility.
I've done an industrial placement year that was based in the lab, which was really useful, and also doing a final year research project in the lab was really useful. So I had a lot of experience of experimental lab-based assays.
So one piece of advice I'd give to somebody looking to do a PhD is to be prepared for it to be challenging, and while it's great fun and it's really interesting, it isn't an easy route.
Choose your project carefully. You've got 3, maybe 4 years of doing the same project. So make sure it's something that really interests you, something that you enjoy.